हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू ज्ञान गंगा क्लासेस। और आज हम लेकर के आए हैं क्लास 7 साइंस का चैप्टर नंबर 1। और आज हम शुरू कर रहे हैं क्लास 7 साइंस का पूरा करिकुलम फ्रॉम द चैप्टर 1 टू द लास्ट। और इसमें हम हर एक चैप्टर के ऊपर पूरे नोट्स पूरी कंप्लीट एक एक टॉपिक को कवर करते हुए वी विल जस्ट कंप्लीटली डू इट इन द वीडियोस। और हम इसके ऊपर लाएंगे ढेर सारे वीडियोस, ढेर सारी जानकारी। तो इन सबको जानने के लिए प्लीज हमारे चैनल से जुड़े रहने के लिए डू सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल एंड शेयर इट विद योर फ्रेंड्स। उनको भी बुलाइए, वो भी सब्सक्राइब करके नई नई चीजें जाने और आसानी से अपने सारे करिकुलम को कवर कर सके, अपने सारे सिलेबस को कवर करें और आप सब तक इजी वे में फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट फुल एजुकेशन पहुंचाना मेरा मिशन है। सो इससे जुड़े रहने के लिए प्लीज डू सब्सक्राइब टू अस एंड लेट्स बिगिन। टुडेज चैप्टर इज न्यूट्रिशन इन प्लांट्स। प्लांट्स को न्यूट्रिशन की क्या जरूरत है, कैसे जरूरत पूरी होती है और उसके बारे में हम जानेंगे बहुत सारी चीजें। So this video will cover all the concepts, so make sure you do not skip the video and watch it till the end. So let's start about what we will cover. We will cover the nutrition. What is nutrition? सबसे पहले हम जानेंगे. Then the mode of nutrition in plants. प्लांट्स में न्यूट्रिशन कैसे पहुंचता है? हाउ डू दे give nutrition? Then what are autotrophics and who are the heterotrophics? What is the difference between them? Then we will learn about photosynthesis. उस प्रोसेस को जानेंगे, उसको क्यों photosynthesis कहते हैं, उसमें क्या होता है and everything, उसका importance. Then we will learn about the saprotrophic things and the parasitic plants. Then about symbiosis. So let's start with the nutrition. सबसे पहले nutrition क्या है? Nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. Nutrition सबसे पहले क्या हो गया? ये एक process है, ऐसा process है जिसमें we take food. कोई भी organism में कोई भी आ सकता है, any living organism that take food and utilized by the body is the nutrition. सिर्फ फूड लेना ही नहीं, उसको यूटिलाइज करना भी जो प्रोसेस है वो पूरा प्रोसेस आपका न्यूट्रिशन है. एंड वी नो कि ग्रीन प्लांट्स प्रिपेयर देयर ओन फूड एंड ह्यूमन एनिमल्स आर डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली डिपेंडेंट ऑन प्लांट फॉर देयर फूड. हमने क्लास 6 में ये बात पढ़ी थी. सो न्यूट्रिशन किस तरीके से हुए? इस वजह से दो टाइप के, ऑटोट्रॉफिक एंड हेटेरोट्रॉफिक. So let us learn about the autotrophs. They are plants, the green plants. Auto means self, trophs means nourishment. जो इससे मतलब क्या हुआ? Self nourishment, यानी जो खुद को न्यूट्रिशन खुद ही प्रोवाइड कर ले. The mode of nutrition in which organism make their own food from the simple substances by the process of photosynthesis. ऑटोट्रॉफ्स में क्या हुआ कि ये ऐसा मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन हो गया, ऑटोट्रॉफिक न्यूट्रिशन, एंड दोज हु डू द ऑटोट्रॉफिक न्यूट्रिशन आर नोन एज ऑटोट्रॉफ्स. ठीक है, जो ये न्यूट्रिशन जिनका होता है उनको कहते हैं ऑटोट्रॉफ्स. ऑटोट्रॉफ्स का मतलब हुआ कि सेल्फ नरिशमेंट, द मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन इन विच ऑर्गेनिज्म मेक देयर ओन फूड. और अपना फूड कौन बनाता है? प्लांट्स. किस प्रोसेस के थ्रू? फोटोसिंथेसिस के थ्रू. Okay. Now the heterotrophs. Who are the heterotrophs? The other nourishment, others, जो दूसरे के ऊपर nourishment के लिए dependent है. The nutrition, the mode of nutrition in which organism depends on plant for their food in ready-made form. As in, cow eats grass, so it is a heterotrophic animal. It eats grass, and the lion eats cow, so it depends on cow, and cow depend on plant. So in indirect way, lion is also dependent on plant because he eats a cow. So that's why he also a heterotrophic animal. Those organisms which cannot prepare their own food and take food from green plants or animals are heterotrophs. Clear? जो कि खुद का खाना नहीं बना सकते, यानी प्लांट्स को छोड़ के बाकी सारे एनिमल्स आर द हेटेरोट्रॉपिक एनिमल्स। नाउ लेट अस लर्न अबाउट फोटोसिंथेसिस। फोटोसिंथेसिस क्या है? बेसिकली ये एक प्रोसेस है जिसमें प्लांट्स मेक देयर ओन फूड बाय यूजिंग inorganic or simple substances like in the presence of sunlight, और एक और चीज का प्रेजेंस होता है, वो होता है ग्रीन पिगमेंट और क्लोरोफिल इन द लीव्स। लीव्स में खाना बनता है, लीव्स में ग्रीन क्यों है? बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ ग्रीन पिगमेंट कॉल्ड क्लोरोफिल। क्लोरोफिल के प्रेजेंस की वजह से वो ग्रीन है। तो इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ टू थिंग, क्लोरोफिल एंड sunlight, the food is prepared by leaves, and this process of preparing food with the simple substances like water, carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and green pigment chlorophyll, this process is known as photosynthesis. Food is prepared in the leaves of plant, so they are known as the food factories of the plant. So this is how we can write the photosynthesis की equation. We have carbon dioxide plus water. These two things plant take, carbon dioxide and water, in the presence of light and chlorophyll. देखो arrow बनाया, arrow के ऊपर भी wrote light and नीचे chlorophyll. So we got carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of light and chlorophyll gives sugar, or you can say food, or the different thing, carbohydrate, but I wrote here sugar plus oxygen. So we got carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of light and chlorophyll, arrow here, gives sugar plus oxygen. क्लियर? यही है फोटोसिंथेसिस। कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और वाटर यूज होता है और सुगर और ऑक्सीजन प्रोड्यूस होता है। So let us learn about first cells. Cells क्या होती हैं? Cells are the structural and functional unit, the basic unit of the body for any living beings. हर एक लिविंग बीइंग के अंदर में सबसे छोटा, सबसे बेसिक यूनिट ऑफ स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनल जो यूनिट होता है वो होता है सेल। These are the cells. Having nucleus, you can see the liquid thing inside is the cytoplasm, and outside there is a cell membrane. Three main things of a cell. There is a nucleus. This whole area has a liquid thing, cytoplasm, and the outline is the cell membrane. The cell has a thin outer boundary called cell membrane, a distinct centrally located spherical structure, nucleus, and the jelly substance that around nucleus is cytoplasm. Three things: the boundary, thin outer boundary is cell membrane, the center distinct spherical structure, nucleus, and the jelly substance around it is cytoplasm. Clear? Now let us learn about this photosynthesis on a detailed thing. See what we are doing here. Plant is doing, taking water through roots, carbon dioxide through leaves, and sunlight also through leaves. And then here in the leaves, this action, this process of adding water plus carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is done, which produces sugar and oxygen. Oxygen तो तुरंत दे दिया, sugar अपने यहाँ पे leaves में रख लिया, and then that is again used by the plant. Also एक और process होता है, this is here, this is not photosynthesis, this is transpiration. Because of presence of sun, heat की presence में plants थोड़ा water evaporate करते हैं. So that's two processes being taken place for the plants. Now learn about leaves का भी हमने जाना कि they have cells, they have green pigment, chlorophyll. Now they also have stomata. This is the structure of a stomata. Here These are the epidermal cell, subsidiary cell, the stomatal pore that is open here और यही थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे close भी हो जाता है. And these are the guard cells. The two cells are the guard cells. The tiny pores present on the surface of leaf are called stomata. These pores are surrounded by guard cells. What are stomata? छोटे छोटे pores on the leaf का surface, on the surface of leaf are stomata. They are surrounded by guard cells. Clear? CO2 is taken from the air through these pores. Through stomata, through stomatal openings, stomatal pore, these CO2 are being intake. Okay. Now, chlorophyll. The green plant produces chlorophyll in their leaves, which capture the energy of sunlight. The light energy is used to prepare food. So, green color में chlorophyll है. Green plants are green due to chlorophyll present in their leaves, and that's why they capture the energy from sunlight. Okay. So now, what are the products of photosynthesis? The food is produced by the process of photosynthesis, that is mainly carbohydrate. It produces glucose as food material, which later get converted into starch. The presence of starch in leaves indicates the occurrence of photosynthesis. The food is produced, that is mainly carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is the formed in glucose. Glucose के form में it is produced, जो कि later convert हो जाता है starch में और उनके leaves में store हो जाता है. Clear? So what is the importance of photosynthesis? हमने इतना तो जान लिया है photosynthesis में क्या क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, leaves में क्या क्या होता है जिसके थ्रू ये चीजें होती हैं. But photosynthesis का importance क्या है? What is the importance? क्यों जरूरी है? If plants do not perform photosynthesis, then there will be no food on earth. हमने क्या जाना? Everybody is dependent on plant for food and plant is self-dependent. So अगर वो अपना खाना नहीं बनाएगा तो there will be no food on earth. There will be no life. And photosynthesis is also necessary for the production of oxygen because it is necessary for others to respire. So photosynthesis is necessary for both food and air, for oxygen. So it can be said that life will be impossible if there will be no photosynthesis. So that is the very important part, important role of photosynthesis for every living being. And now, what are the plant food that are generated other than carbohydrates? Nitrogen is required by plants to make proteins. So some plants do not absorb nitrogen from the gas. Though nitrogen is present in the highest form, but they cannot intake it from the leaves as in the gaseous form. They absorb it from the soil along with the water. Some bacteria live in the soil on the roots that dissolve nitrogen in soil and plant absorb it along with the water. Now, do you know there are some heterotrophic plants? Means there are some plants that do not have chlorophyll in their leaves, so they cannot prepare their food. So they obtain it from different other plants or animals. So they are taking food from others. That is why they are the heterotrophic plants. And there are some parasitic plants that lines outside or inside other organisms to derive food from them. They are non-green substances and live on the other plant body. So they are known as parasite. And the body on whose they live are known as host. So they are parasitic plants or parasite plants that live on other living organisms' body, that is called host. See in the diagram in the image here, this is the brownish plant here. This is the parasite who is living on the body of other host. They have special roots called sucking roots which penetrate in the host plant to suck the food material from them. So how they get nutrition? Those parasitic plants through the sucking roots. Now let us learn about the insectivorous plant. Those plants who trap insects and digest them for the nutrition. Some plants are carnivorous also, or you can say insectivorous or carnivorous. They eat other small insects rather than doing the nutrition of photosynthesis. They use the other insects to trap them and just digest them for their need. These plants are green in color, as you can see. They have some green thing here, but still they lack in the nitrogen element. They do not get the nitrogen. So to overcome the nitrogen thing, they eat insects. They trap them and eat them, also known as carnivorous plants. They have specialized leaf. You can see a leaf is here. This is the apex. This forms the apex of a lid. Here it is the hole where they use to trap it. This is the mouth of the pitcher. This is the pitcher. This is the mouth of the pitcher, and this acts as lid. The leaf is acting as the lid, and as soon as some insect goes inside, this just trap and close the mouth of the pitcher, and the hair inside this in the pitcher are used to entangle the insect. When an insect comes in contact to the lid, it gets closed and traps the insect. The insect inside the pitcher is digested by digestive juices secreted by the pitcher to obtain nitrogen components from them. So that's how they eat insects. Example: pitcher plant, sundew, Venus flytrap, or bladderwort. Now the saprotrophic. The saprotrophic organisms, organisms are the nutrition have that they use to eat from dead and decaying material. The organisms that get nutrition from the dead and decaying materials are the saprotrophs, and they do the saprotrophic nutrition. Plants which use the saprotrophic nutrition are fungi, that is mushrooms, mostly, or non-green plants that grow on dead and decaying matter. The bread mold fungi, yeast are the saprotrophic plants. So these are the saprotrophic. They do the nutrition on dead and decaying matter. Example: mushrooms, yeast. Now let us learn about symbiosis. Then two plants of different species live together and help each other in obtaining food and shelter. अभी हमने पैरासाइट के बारे में पढ़ा. One plant live on other taking the food from the host, but that was one taking the energy from other. It is not a mutual thing. तो symbiosis एक ऐसा process है when two different species plant live together helping each other. Both are taking something or the other from each other. If one is taking food, then another is taking the shelter from them. So this association is the symbiosis. And such plants are symbiotic plants. The association in which two plants of different species live together and help each other. किसमें help करते हैं? Taking food and shelter. So that is association is symbiosis, and plants are known as symbiotic plants. समझ आया कि यहाँ पे कैसे how they are different from parasite? They are giving something also. They are not just taking from the host. So this relationship in which two different organisms live and share shelter and nutrients is the symbiotic relationship. Lichens and rhizobium as a good example of symbiosis relationship. Lichen is an association of algae and fungus live together. The fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the algae. In return, algae provide food which prepared by the photosynthesis. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Lichen में algae provided food and fungus provide the shelter. So I hope आपको ये टॉपिक क्लियर हुआ होगा, सारी बातें समझ आई होंगी कि what are the different type of nutrition of the food for plants and what is the symbiotic relationship and so many things. और अगर अच्छा लगा और पसंद आया तो प्लीज डू लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल and never miss any new video update.